should be an absolute belter, Rod Harrington.
Yes, it should be, Rob. Looking forward to this one, and Gary Anderson's going to have to, you know, pull on some real experience and that firepower that he possesses to beat this man from Ireland, because Gurney hits a lot of 180s now. Anderson's just got to hope that Gurney has a bit of an off day.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg Darrell to throw first. Game on!
Obviously, Anderson, the odds-on favourite, but this opponent could be dangerous.
Yeah, 12 months ago, had they met, you'd have looked at it and thought, well, this will be routine for Anderson, but, you know, times have changed for Darrell Gurney. It's been an incredible rise for him, but there's an illustration of what he's up against tonight already. Gary Anderson out of the blocks with a 180. The world champion means business.
Yes, he's only had one real hiccup, and that was in the UK Open when he lost to O'Reilly's qualifier, and you know, that was right out of the blue. I mean, no one expected that.
Yeah, Barry Lynn, the man doing the damage. Prompted one or two to just question his, not desire, but perhaps his hunger to some extent. He's obviously had a terrific start to the year, £350,000 in the bag, helped, of course, by that win at the World Championship. But he clearly is a man who wants to win everything that he enters.
125.
And it was difficult to know what to put that defeat to Barry Lynn down to, really. Whether Anderson just took
81.
one or two things for granted, playing on an outside board as well might not have helped.
To be quite honest, I don't think playing on the outside board helped. You know, he should have been on the board once, the world champion. But Gary, this happens to Gary sometimes. Doesn't turn up, a bit like Lewis. It doesn't worry them. You know, they just get on with it. They accept that happens now and again to those players.
Well, Gurney here for a hold of throw.
Game shot in the first leg.
That's exactly what he's done. So despite that opening 180, Gurney takes the leg with 17 darts.
Second leg he starts off with a maximum. The first leg he threw 6 darts without finding the treble after it.
100.
Well, Gary Anderson is without a win on the European Tour since beating Devon Peterson in the last 32 in Gibraltar roughly 12 months ago. He then lost to Terry Jenkins in the last 16. He missed the remaining 7 tournaments of last year, but he made a long overdue return at the Dutch Masters in Venray last month.
60.
But he lost his opening match there as well against Mervyn King 6-4.
A tidy leg here from Anderson, wanting the bullseye after 9 darts. I don't think he'll go for it.
140. Gary.
10 double top.
Game shot.
Very tidy 11 dart leg from Anderson.
Third leg Darrell to throw first.
You know, people like Gary Anderson, they kind of make you sick at times because they make this game look so darn easy, don't they? I mean, you just stand there. I always remember my dear old father saying, look, don't overthink it. You just throw this lump of metal at the wall. And it literally, that's how Gary Anderson, Adrian Lewis take it.
A bit like a take on the Bill Shankly approach, you know, stick the ball in the back of the net and we'll discuss your options later.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pile on the big scores. And
140.
And the other one, don't let them have the ball and they can't score.
yeah.
He does, when he's flowing, you know, like Lewis, it's so natural, isn't it?
That World Championship final against Lewis didn't really, as a spectacle, it wasn't quite what we were expecting.
96.
But the semi-final win over Klassen had people purring, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a class performance because Klassen was playing very well, and a lot of people, you know, I know are back in Klassen to win it. Gary Anderson, I mean, that was a superb performance. You know, from the very first leg, he just, well, he wants the bullseye this time, and this time he will go for it.
145. Darrell will require 120.
Well, Darrell Gurney, you feel, has to take this.
80. Gary required 25.
So a chance for Anderson to break it. Double 12 he wants. Gurney waiting to pounce just in case, but Anderson nails it, and he has secured the early break.
So the turnaround in Gary Anderson's career was when he beat Phil Taylor in the Tour Players Championships in Minehead, literally a month before he won the first World Championships. You know, everybody knew how good he was, but he just missed too many doubles at crucial times, and he did. The stats proved that. But all of a sudden, that semi-final win over Phil, you know, he really did take the game to Phil. Then he goes on and wins that Tour Players, and coming into that, and if I say it myself, I did tip him all across the board to win that World Championship at 16 to 1, because it just seemed obvious to me that he was ready for it. He believed himself that he was capable of winning it, and to be quite honest, he's not looked back ever since, has he?
No.
59.
Yeah, he's in position to defend his Premier League title as well.
134.
Taylor and Van Gerwen also jostling at the top of the table at the moment.
100.
Gurney, though, as I said, enjoying the most productive few months of his career. Let's see if Anderson can just take this out, though. Oh, no, not this time. But Gurney
88.
stranded on 284. Yeah, reached the last four at the Players' Championship finals in Minehead. Got 17 grand for that. 10 grand for making the final in Venray last month, and 15 grand for reaching the last 32 of the World Championship, where he was beaten by Gary Anderson.
And
Anderson establishes a 3-1 lead. Anderson exacting some revenge for that defeat by Gurney in Minehead in November. It was strange, actually. I spoke to Gurney after that, and he felt like he'd not beaten Gary Anderson because he felt it wasn't the real Gary Anderson who was on the stage, and he couldn't take too much joy out of beating Gary Anderson when he felt that Gary Anderson hadn't brought his A game to the tournament, or to that particular match anyway.
I don't understand that, because to be quite honest, if I was still playing, I'd want everybody to play crap against me.
Yeah, and also, I mean,
because a win's a win.
I said to Gurney, you know, in the record books, you know, there won't be a little asterisk saying, oh, but Gary Anderson didn't play that well. You know,
what's the old saying? There's no room on the trophy for comment. It is so true, isn't it?
And also, the other thing about Venray last month as well, you know, getting to the final, but it wasn't as if the draw was kind to him. He had to beat Jihan Artu, Brendan Dolan, Peter Wright, Adrian Lewis and Sulovic before eventually losing to Van Gerwen in the final. So he had a terrific run. And he might well do some damage here, albeit on his throw. Just needs to stop this tide of Anderson legs at the moment.
God, this bullseye looks so good. It looks so good. As soon as he put that dart in that 25, I thought if he hits a 57, this bullseye's going to be the easiest one he's ever hit. It was so laying perfect, that first dart. And that was a killer blow.
Yeah.
Absolute killer blow.
Yeah, Gurney just needed something just to stop the rot there. Looks as though he was going to, and then suddenly Anderson
58.
firing off the bullets.
Well, Anderson over just under the 112 average at the moment. There we have it. And that front nine average is brilliant. Over the 120 is super class. It's around about where Adrian Lewis was at around this part of the game this afternoon. First on this evening, sorry, when he beat John Bowles. Although 80 did go off the mark a little bit. Well, they're not bad stats, are they?
34.
9 under par, as we would say.
Yep. Gurney lost in the first round here in Munich last year, going down 6-5 to Kurt Parry, so he's already bettered that particular performance.
35.
Another super leg from Gary Anderson. He really is taking the game to Daryl Gurney. At the moment, Gurney can't do anything to stop it.
Game showing the sixth leg. Gary Anderson, seventh leg, Daryl to throw first. Game on.
That's a procession at the moment for the world champion. Back-to-back world champion Gary Anderson.
41.
Yeah, he's just finding that treble 20 with ease at the moment. Is Anderson.
It's almost metronomic, isn't it, the way he just pings it on such a regular basis.
Well, on the Wire programme that we do on the website, we analyse people's throws, and we analyse Gary Anderson, and he's actually left-eye dominant.
Yeah. I mean, I read an article whereby it's almost like a blur that he sees, and it's almost an instinctive action.
I mean, when he brings that dart back just under the right eye, it's like a sight down the V of the flight. He says he can't see the board, but I don't believe that.
There's talk about him wearing glasses, but he says he doesn't want to on stage. He says it would just change the whole dynamic of his game, which, you know, I can understand to some extent.
99.
Yeah, the average is 110 at the moment.
Yeah, Gurney's not really turned up. I know Gary Anderson really hasn't given him a chance from the first 3 darts when he hit the maximum. He really has pummeled Daryl Gurney.
Highest average in the history of the German Darts Masters, 113.6 by Michael van Gerwen in the semi-finals last year.
Gary, you require 110.
95 remaining, Gary. Treble 15 ball, will he go for it? No.
94. Daryl, you require 32.
Another one of those.
Yeah, he's overpitched that dart, and now a little bit of negative in the head.
No score.
It's unlucky.
Gary, you require
It opens
16.
the door for Gary Anderson to finish this game off in rapid time. Yeah, you've got to come to the left, Gary, I would say.
And Gary Anderson finds the double four. Plenty to admire about the world champions' opening performance here in Munich this weekend, beating Daryl Gurney, who's had a terrific 4 months, by 6 legs to 1, with an average of over 106, 50% on the checkouts. The eye-catching moment, that checkout of 132, that established a 4-1 lead. Gary Anderson means business here in Munich, and he will face in the 3rd round tomorrow Willie O'Connor. Willie O'Connor may well have a sleepless night tonight thinking about that one. Gary Anderson books his place in the next round. Daryl Gurney is on his way home. We'll see more of him this year in Europe, I'm sure of that. On the way, Devon Peterson and Benito van der Pas. But let's hear from the world champion now with Timo Gans.
Gary, congratulations. It was a very good start to the tournament for you. You make it look so easy. How do you do that?
Oh, it's never easy. Never easy. Practice board have been struggling, but they bit okay up here.
Also ich habe gemeint, wenn er das macht, dann sieht es immer so einfach aus hier, wie er die Pfeile einfach trifft. Er sagt, nein, es ist nie einfach. Es ist nie einfach, gehört viel Training dazu und auch jetzt war es alles andere als ein einfaches Spiel. Gary, it's your first appearance here in Munich. You're here for the very first time. How do you like it, the atmosphere, the people?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I've come here to work and everyone's on Easter holidays, you know, so yeah, no, lovely place. I mean, the hotel's fantastic. Great setup here. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. Thanks, Gary.